Hebron 3, Auto Reviewing. This movie, it is last year Oscar winner for the best animated movie, The Boy and the Herons, from this iconic animated movie director from Hayao Miyazaki. This movie, it was like most talked about animated movie from last year. Finally, this movie, it is on Netflix, and after seeing this movie, what do I think about this movie? First of all, this movie, the animation, it looks really so good, and this movie really takes you into this different world it promises from the story. So in this movie, you see this young boy Mahito. In the fire, he lost his mother in this movie. After losing his mother, he moves with his dad and his stepmother into this countryside house where he sees this herons. He keeps coming to him, this talking herons, and the first act for this movie is basically this herons is coming to him, bothering him, tricking him. Finally tells him that his mother is not dead and I can take you to your mom in this different world. Then later on in this movie, we see the stepmother goes missing, and he was developing this relationship with his stepmother in this movie. Then she goes missing. Then in this movie, basically Mahito asks herons to take him to this world to get back his stepmother in this movie, because this movie, it is about him getting back his stepmother. So I see some comment. The first act for this movie, it is a little bit little confusing at a time, because you are thinking, oh, this herons will help him, but in this movie, this herons is actually very tricky, this is really tricky herons. He does all this trick with him. It takes him a while to go to the world. So this first act for this movie, while it's a little slow, but it's really good, because it gives you the idea who this Mahito character is. He lost his mom and he lost a lot in this movie. Then he goes to this world and he meets all these creatures, especially all these bird creature in this movies are wow. I was like, whoa. They looks really fun and friendly, but in reality, these birds creature, they're here to eat you, So it's quite I was like, wow, these are really very tricky animal, and they talks, but later on, they do introduce some other interesting character in this movie. So overall, this movie is actually, this is the right word for it. It's very imaginative, all this scene, all these characters this movie shows you. When I was watching it, I was just wow. While story is not always very, you cannot understand it always, but as the movie goes on, I think it was understandable. It's not that hard to understand this movie, and the animation, it just truly so breathtaking. It really takes you into this different world this movie promises you. It just takes little time to go there, but once you go there, you really feel wow. I personally really like this little boy, his character Mahito, because he was just getting tricked by this heron. I think he did really good job, the boy's work. This herons was also quite tricky. That being said, he did look ugly couple of times to me. I was that is the point of it, I guess. Some of these birds really looked ugly looking. I was these are not nice birds. They're here to eat him. I have to get him. So it did make sense. This movie's animation is really very something, This movie, one of those movies, even after watching it, you have to go back and watch it again. Personally, I thought it was quite engaging. Although I do agree it's slow at a time, but I think it's the reason for slow because of the character to develop, and end of it, you do feel very appreciative. I personally really like this movie. So I think it's worth checking, even for the animation and the story overall. It was quite interesting, and that was my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about this movie? If you enjoyed this review, don't forget other reviews on other movies. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.